Hello and welcome to It Came From a Third Party. Today we are looking at the wondrous Cubicle 7 product based on one of the most famous fantasy settings of them all.
Adventures in Middle-earth, the Player's Guide. What do we got here today?
What we got here is something straight out of the imagination of a granddaddy of fantasy. Obviously updated for modern times.
Of course.
You see, J.R.R. Tolkien was a great writer.
He was.
Great world builder. At least though there's times where his writings were strange, like...
You mean like where he wrote an entire history book for his whole fantasy world?
No, the fact he made languages for his fantasy world.
That too. Yeah.
That, and you describe a hill that a battle was fought on for 7 pages, and the battle would be a paragraph long in length.
Yes.
So, Tolkien, I love you, but, yeah.
Sometimes.
In this book, you have it all. It's basically another player's handbook.
Definitely.
Except it doesn't add spells.
Well, yeah. This is a magic light at best setting.
Well, for players, that is.
Yeah, for players.
There was some weird stuff in Tolkien's works, like telepathy,
Changelings.
people transforming into animals, spirit animals, which actually comes into play in this book.
Yeah.
Magical objects, mythical creatures, obviously. Like, as you know, the orcs of Tolkien's writing inspired a fantasy race we all know. And what is that race, Steve?
Hobgoblins.
Yes. Because for some reason, the orcs in most fantasy settings right now, such as the Elder Scrolls, WoW, are more like green humans who are attractive and green. These orcs...
Yeah, these orcs are ugly.
They're militaristic and cruel and serve a dark lord, much like hobgoblins.
Which is weird.
Yeah, well, orcs are goblins in
Also,
Tolkien's writings.
Sideline for D&D 5e and others. Orcus doesn't have anything to do with orcs.
I know, the name's confusing. I mean, if there's a guy named Humanus, he better have something to do with humans. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Also, we'll talk more about Orcus in some other videos, probably when we get some Frog God game products.
Definitely.
Like, not 5th edition foes. He'd make an appearance, unfortunately. Anyways, from this book, you've got races. You got, what's your favorite race? Well,
I like
culture, I suppose.
Well, yeah. In this setting, you don't really have races so much as you have cultures, for example.
Well, there are owls and halflings and...
I mean, yeah,
dwarves.
you have those, but the humans are also split up. Like
so are the elves. Because in other supplements, they have different types of elves.
Yeah. So, they do this like they're split it up through cultural virtues, such as the Riders of Rivendell will have benefits. I've been playing a lot of Skyrim.
Yes, I can tell. Riders of Rohan.
Rohan.
My favorite ones are actually the Bardens, but they are ridiculously overpowered with certain virtues. Which we will talk about how this meshes well with, and not so well, with standard D&D later.
Alright.
Every race has their own feats, or virtues in this case. The equipment is changed from less, like D&D's...
D&D is...
Like, studded leather armor isn't actually a real thing. It's just...
That's also in Skyrim, just coincidentally. I've been playing that a lot.
Yes, you've been playing a lot of Skyrim. Damn it.
But, yeah. There's also a new mechanic in this called corruption. And if you're a DM and you don't like your players going, hey, let's accidentally kidnap a goblin and enslave him because he's a good fighter.
Yeah, it's not like I've ever DM'd a game and that happened. Anyways, a corruption system.
Yeah.
Each class has their own weakness in it. Everyone has their own draw. Rogues, greedy. Well, I mean, that's kind of normal, but sometimes you want to learn dark secrets you shouldn't know.
There's also pride.
There's pride, wrath, all of it.
Yeah, all the fun ones.
Yeah. So your characters can fall. If you're the heroes of Adventures in Middle-earth, you're not amoral. There's no lawful evil. There's no chaotic evil. There's no neutral evil. There's no chaotic neutral. There's not even...
Like,
I don't even think there's neutral, really.
Yeah,
they're all
at
good.
best, you can either play lawful good, neutral good,
Or chaotic good very rarely.
and chaotic good very rarely if you are very careful.
Maybe lawful neutral would be allowed to, I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't. This isn't Primeval Fool. This is where you gotta be good. You're not Conan. You're a saint.
Yeah, you are the saints of this world. You are the heroes of the realm, and this book isn't really designed with that mechanic for anything else.
Because if you're not the heroes of the realm, you're the villains eventually.
Yeah, everyone will fall eventually.
Some of this, it doesn't mesh well at 5e times. Say, if you put a bard in from this book and put him in Standard Edition 5e, and put him in plate armor and gave him his feat where he had his proficiency to his AC, he'd be kind of really hard to... He'd be able to out-tank people with magic for a while, which is pretty amazing, really. Because the power scale in between regular 5e flip-flops, and it'll get even weirder when we review the Lore Master's Guide and how to magic items, and that book influenced this. Now, some highlights in this book are the fact there's new backgrounds. It's more fluff-driven, though.
It's always fun to have fluff.
It's fun to have fluff, but it's also a burden at times. Because you have to have players who are familiar with the setting. Now that might be a little bit of too much of a commitment for some players. Some people, you gotta be agnostic and just... it's an open-end event.
Yeah.
This is more of a closed end. It's a little more difficult. Some of the difficulties in this book, I think, are of not the warden class, the scholar, who can reveal, like, that he talked to the guard days ago, and he lets you through. Now, he can do that only a couple times for a long rest, or one time for a long rest. I'm not sure off the top of my head. But if you put them in standard D&D, or even epic level D&D, where long rests are like an hour, then you'll have a lot of weird BS where it'll appear as if the scholar is some sort of magical man who's been there hours before. And whenever it arrives,
he becomes like a reroll wizard.
Except even more contrived.
Yeah, pretty much.
So some of these things you will have difficulty with if you try to adapt in straight 5e. Some of the weapons would be a little overpowered with certain builds.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the Great Spear does D12, I believe, and it has reach. So
yeah,
do that to a bugbear, it'd be a little difficult, but if your players aren't really that optimization or munchkins or role players,
min-maxers.
Yeah, if they're not like that, I would actually allow a lot of this to go through. What I do like too is one of my favorite things is the dwarf weapons in this book.
Yeah.
You can just convert that cost into standard gold in 5th edition. It's just a nice way to give people +1 weapons. I think it's pretty nice.
It's always fun.
Now, all in all, I think this book was a great buy.
I would also recommend it, but mainly if you are heavily invested in Middle-earth.
Or maybe your DM will let you take bits and pieces. It's a great thing for taking parts from. If you don't want to play a magical, if you want to be a paladin but not a paladin, you can play a warden. The Slayer can also get overpowered too, especially if you're a Bardin Slayer, because I've done the math, and you basically be almost immortal.
That's always fun.
Which is fun, but kind of BS for the other players. When some guy from a lower magic setting is walking off, strikes to the face.
It's fun.
It is fun. So in the future, we will review the other products from this line.
Of course, definitely.
The Lore Master's Guide coming up next.
Also coming up, we will be doing the Keeps and Strongholds.
Yes, but that'll be in the far future.
Of course.
In the more immediate future, we're going to be looking at Midgard, Kobold Press. I'd say they're probably the best third-party products for D&D.
From what we've reviewed so far, they've definitely been.
We haven't reviewed your Tome of Beast yet, have we?
No, we haven't. We should get on that.
We should get on that, but Midgard's coming first, and so will I.
Yeah. Hey,
we might edit it out now. We're gonna be.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep.
Great
that.
things are coming ahead, and have
Keep
a great
posted.
day. subscribe, comments. You probably won't. No one's watching these. I'm getting depressed, but you know it's okay.
Well, I mean that one publisher subscribed to us. Hashtag shout out.